Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Anyways, had a little bit of free time, and this is something to where I've been wanting to do something like this, but could never come up with an idea on parts until I started kind of cleaning out my storage room and just going through shit. And I found stuff to where it was like I look at that and look at the Virtual Boy, and it's like, damn, that might just work. So I did take a chance at this, and let's say I lucked out big time. If you guys have any of this stuff laying around and have a Virtual Boy and we want to do this too, I highly recommend it because one of the main parts I used on cutting into it, which I did do that, just to make it so the lenses would work and get all lined up good. That's all I had to do to it. And it wasn't much, man. Just using a grinding wheel on a Dremel and just cut away some of the plastic just to widen it out some. But man, if this thing was just a minute part, a mousie's ass hair smaller, it wouldn't have fit. It's perfect. And it looks good. And the one thing I was trying to go for, which was keeping me from wanting to do this, was trying to do it in a way to where it at least half-ass looks like it was meant to be, not just thrown together. Which, please give me a thumbs up, guys. Man, I put in a bit of work. And for anybody that's been watching, this isn't a Virtual Boy I just found. This is the one I've had that I've already done repairs on that has to do with the video. Those stupid ribbon cables came loose, and I did it the hard way and succeeded by soldering them in place. Any of you decide to do that, get yourself a nail gun, aim in that general direction, and just pull the trigger a couple times in case you miss. It's mega fucking migraine, let me put it that way. When I got finished, it's not easy. You basically roll a little ball of solder back and forth, melting some of that plastic away, and also trying to get those little, very, very fine leads to stick to the circuit board. It's not easy. And then I had to get an X-Acto knife and big freaking magnifying glass and go over each one of them to make sure nothing was making contact, because that'll fuck up the video too. And I got it working perfect. I mean, just pure luck out and out on this. This is one of those things to where unless a capacitor blows or something, or it gets dropped, falls off a shelf, whatever, it should last me forever. As long as we got the type of electricity we have here, it should last me forever. I mean, I've pretty much repaired everything that could fuck up bad. So, on stuff that you will need for this. If you don't already have one, you can do it the way that I did it the first time, and it works pretty good, but when you're going into a deep hole and can't really see what you're doing, it can be just frustrating, but it does work. If you don't have a game bit and don't have the means of ordering one online, but do have access to a Dremel or just a drill to where you can get some cutoff wheels, just get a flathead screwdriver, make sure it fits into the hole where that game bit is, and then just cut a little notch in it so it will fit over that little turtle head type shell thing on it, or whatever you want to call it, so it'll fit into the notches. Once you eyeball it, you'll see what I mean, man. It's real easy to do if you got the Dremel. Otherwise, I am really friggin' happy with these. I'm so glad I found this site. They've got awesome stuff, and it's cheap. And they still have them for the same price. I ordered my newest game bit tools, as I did have the bits, and that's another thing. If you have one where it's got the bit that fits into a chuck, because that chuck being so thick, it's not going to go into the holes on this, which is why I had to get a freaking screwdriver and modify it. But these, no problem. They are made by Silver Hill Tools. I got them from Council 5 for $7, and let's see here, got the site up so I can give you guys the link. Yeah, $7.95 plus a little tax and shipping, maybe no tax depending on where you guys are at. But man, worth every penny, and you get both of them. get the one for opening up consoles and then some Sega carts and whatnot, and then the other one that's outright for carts. So here's what they look like. Like I said, you don't have that bit to deal with. All stainless steel. And I've taken a lot of stuff apart with these, and they're lasting. And on those chuck type ones, especially this one, it's really small for opening up carts. I don't know what they make those chuck bits out of, but they disintegrate really fast. So like I say, I'll leave the link for you guys if you need to order them. They're a good site. They're awesome. They're nerds. If you're lucky, man, they may still have some Atomic Fireball to throw in with you. They always give me some Atomic Fireball Jawbreakers. So you know you're working with nerds, which is a good thing, man. They know their shit. And I've gotten a lot of other stuff from that site. Been very happy with them. So the next thing, and this stuff, I really like it, and then I don't like it. And on the don't like, is in don't fuck up and then try and redo it. You'll really, really regret it later. Let's see, I think I got this stuff at the Dollar Tree. And I think 99-cent Only sells the same thing. It's made by Super Glue. It's a nice big tube for $1. And the other type that I also get that's not quite as strong, it takes a bit longer to dry, I think it's just plain old craft cement. This stuff says model and hobby cement. Also make sure you're in a well-ventilated room or you will get high as all fuck and then you'll end up painting your house different colors, Metallica slogans all over and shit, paint your cat's ass blue and it'll be all fucked up and then the cops will come and haul your ass away and it won't be good. So don't do any of that shit. Hence why I'm not going to be putting this on to demo it for you as the glue is still drying and I don't want to be tripping. So here it be. And on the warning part of it, on don't fuck up, there's something in this that literally eats into the plastic, not a ton, but a little bit, to where it's bonding the plastic together, not just gluing it to where it's just the glue holding it. It literally eats into the plastic. So you'll get a really, really strong grip with this. And on the fucking up part, fortunately, it was on the inside of the system, as it was a rare system, and it would have pissed me off something fierce. But my PlayStation, that's the call it a demo system. I forget what the hell they call it. It's one to where you'd have to work for PlayStation, and it's for testing out the games and hooking it up to where you can add data. Anyways, it plays everything. It's region free, hence why I'd be pissed off if I got it all fucked up looking. Very rare system, but I was having to glue some cracks in it as it had obviously been dropped, so it had some just hairline cracks to where I went on the inside and just thickened up glue over them so it wouldn't bust apart. But the glue had leaked out a whole bunch. Is don't hold the tube over this, have like a napkin, put a blob on it, and use some freaking toothpicks because I got a big old drip. And my first reaction, and this was after it dried a little bit where it was starting to gel, got a napkin and wiped it off, and it's like, why is the glue turning green? And then it's like I tried to scrape off some more and I literally left a gouge in the plastic just using my thumbnail. That's how acidic that stuff is. So you might want to use a different type of glue. It's just I want some shit that's strong as all fuck and is not going to break again. I want this to be really, really solid. Because it's something heavy that's going to be strapped to my fucking face. And I don't want it falling off and busting into a million pieces. And other things, this is something to where I had one. I collect gas masks. This is something I picked up for a few bucks at a yard sale. You don't have to find the same exact one, but a lot of them have these type of hooks on them that you can remove for the straps, to where they look like this, where you'll have like a, I'll show you the mask here. This is a fireman's gas mask. or kind of like a fireman's mask, I guess. Anyways, as you can see, large peg there that it slips over, and then when you pull on it, it locks in place via it's got a smaller hole there. As in, if you find some of these, measure out your screws first, and you don't need a long screw for what I did. Just enough to get through the plastic and hold it in place. They work great. And for the strap, I don't have the parts laying around. Just, if you don't have one, pick up a really cheap ass kid's swim mask as long as the strap's big enough for you and wide enough. That's what I used for my strap. And on screws, what I used, and they look good, and they had a little bit of an area, just enough for the thickness of this to where there's no stripping. So I screwed them all the way in with these on so they can move up and down and stuff. But I think they were the feet off of one of the Apple computers that I picked up and was busted, so I just stripped it for parts. Otherwise, just find a screw that'll fit to where you got enough of a head on it to lock it in place good. Now on the main thing, and this is something to where if you want to do this mod, you're going to have to hunt around. They do show up at like yard sales and thrift stores and whatnot. And something to where if it's working, I still made it to where I can use this if I want to. I just don't have the visor thing on it. But kept looking at this and looking at the Virtual Boy, and it's like, damn, that's just too close. And once I took off the visor thing and lined it up, match made in heaven. Literally. I'll point that out to you guys, just match made in heaven. Anyways, this is one of those Jakks specific night vision thingamajigs. Not the one that you wear on your face, but the one where it's got the thing to hang it around your neck. And to take that piece off, real easy. Just took that screw out, and then, yeah, I did take them all out. And then just separated it enough, and that piece just popped right out. There was no wires hooked up to it or anything. It's just the lenses, the visor piece, and then a little adjustment knob to where it's all built into it. And all the stuff to adjust it, the lenses, all that's just screwed onto it. You can remove all of that. You don't need any of it. You just need the main piece. On one of those, man, $5 at most. If it's broken, try and get it for $1 if you can. And what's cool, the foam cover, as I had everything to this Virtual Boy, it fits around it beautifully to where it almost covers it up and keeps any light from coming in. So there's one spot that I'll point out once I take off the foam cover where you might want to get like maybe get like a Pepsi bottle and cut off a strip of the plastic and then just glue that on top of it just to block out light, like blacken it up. Otherwise, if you got the cover, it's good enough. So carefully take this out. So far, this glue's sitting up good. And if you don't have the visor piece for your Virtual Boy, you may have a bit more of a problem and have to do a little bit more modifications to it. Is you do have a couple little hook pegs that stick out to the outside of the two lenses that connect the face piece. I'm thinking is you'd probably have to grind those down so everything's flat. And if you want to still take it apart, I'd work on the top half on gluing it. So when you take the screws out, you'll just be separating it with the face piece still on it. I'll point it out to you here. But I see how you could do it. It's just, I don't know how strong it'd be. All I can say is glue the living shit out of it. What I'm talking about is, as you can see, those little pegs in there. But you got a lot more area to work with here on gluing it than this bottom piece. If you want to make it to where you can still take it apart. Otherwise, fuck it, glue the living shit out of it, man. Because it does go on nice and level. Another thing to me, well, you'd still be okay. Because with the original face piece in there, you're just losing like a millimeter. So yeah, you'd still be okay for your nose and everything to where it would be out enough to where your nose would fit in good. So take this off. You can see everything. Fits nice around it. And on the main piece here, all I did was glue to it. I did not do any cutting on it whatsoever. Everything just lined up good. It's pretty much, I just had to modify the face piece off the night vision goggle wannabe things, but not too much. So, yeah, point it out here. So you can see there's a little notch in there. So when you flip it up like this, there's a little bit of a bump. That I did have to just get a round grinder and grind a little bit on this so it would fit over that, so everything's nice and flush. And then once I got everything fit together, that's a spot where you can just glue the living crap out of it. As you can see, I really put it on thick, and then can't see in there too good. Try to get on this side. Yeah. All the area where it's reflecting back light, that's all glue. And a little bit on the sides. On the top of it, you're just dealing with 4 of the screw hole pegs. So I just put a drop of glue on each one of them. And they literally, between those pegs and the top of this, it fits over those 2 lenses perfect. Something else, man. Don't be doing the glue part with this on the Virtual Boy, or you're guaranteed to get drips on those lenses. Have this setting on a napkin or whatever. Get everything lined up off of it. As I say, once this sets, man, especially if you get it on one of them lenses, you're fucked. It would definitely screw up the lenses to where you wouldn't only have a drip on it. If you tried to take it off, you'd have a big old gouge in the lens, which would really make your games look great. So other than that, if you get one of those things, the holes that they got cut out for the little magnifying glasses are a bit shorter than these, but the height is about the same. So on the height, I really didn't have to do much, which you can leave in the little middle piece and just kind of taper it down. For me, this is strong enough, so I just left a little bit of bump here, as there's a piece of plastic that sticks up behind that nose piece, but it doesn't get in the way. Otherwise, as you can see, I cut that whole part out, so it's plenty wide for the lenses on this. So when I put it on, that's all I'm seeing, man. Nothing in the way. And that, I just used one of those barrel grinders, the sandpaper type, for a Dremel, and just go easy on it. Don't have it up on the highest speed, because it will melt the plastic, and then you'll have spots that just look like shit. I'd say about middle speed. It just seems to melt really fast. I was getting it to where it was smoking. It's like, okay, I gotta stop because it was getting nasty, but it did all right. It's all nice and smooth now. Now, before I finish here, I haven't quite decided how I want to do it, but as you can see in there, there's enough open space to where if I wanted to put another strap here, I could drill a hole there and add on one or more of those. And then I just have to find myself a 3-way strap, or just modify something to come up off of one of these and then go up over the top of my head. That's only if it's to where I need something to stabilize it better for the weight, because these are pretty damn heavy. It's why I wanted to use screws, because it's going to be putting a lot of stress on it, but it's real strong. Let's see, if I do that, I'll show you what I did. Which at least that, you don't have to take the whole damn thing apart. Easy enough. So, see you guys in the next vid when I have it all put together and wearable. And right off the bat, as you can see, I obviously wear glasses. These won't fit in it, but I got a pair of Wayfarer 2s. Those I was able to get in there, and then it pushes the arms together a bit, but I was able to get it on with my glasses, which for me is a big plus. That was something else I wanted to make sure worked. Because without my glasses, yeah, it's a cool mod, but all I'm seeing is a blurry image. It doesn't focus in enough, which that's a lot of the complaint on this. It doesn't quite focus in enough for some people. So if you got glasses, see if they'll fit into that. Or if you got an old pair laying around, hell, you're not going to be wearing them again, and if they still can work for you, glue them in there. That was my next thing that I was thinking of doing, is getting one of my old pairs and just busting off the arms and gluing them in place and just making it for me. Which on this is better, because now if I wanted to sell it, I could. Don't want to have it to where it's permanently for one person, but if you have to, that could probably work. Now I'll always say later to you guys, for real, have a good one, everybody.